How's it going? Tonight's video is about three things. Firstly, driver's hours of service. Do we need somebody to monitor us like we're incompetents once the crisis is over for the shortage of trucks? I don't think we do. Secondly, I'm thinking about another truck. I've got some ideas. Let me know your thoughts. And thirdly, the oil field, Texas. Think it's coming back. That's my thoughts. Watch the video, let me know what you think. If you haven't subscribed, please do that. I want to get bumping up there. Okay, thanks for watching. Enjoy the video. Okay, so it's Tuesday night, the 13th of October, and a couple of things. One of them is I put a video in there about driver's hours of service, and it's got a little bit of a buzz about it. I think it's a sensible thing not to have driver's hours for people who are driving sensibly. Another thing is I've got an empty trailer that I need to put a truck in front of, so I've been looking for a truck to try and take advantage of the last quarter of the year while I can, and rather than having a trailer without a truck. So another thing is the oil field. What about that, eh? So here's some some things. The first one is the hours of service. I don't think we should be doing it. We just don't. If you have got any thoughts about that, have a look at the video before this one that's out and let me know what you think on it. I'll just leave that for the other video there. And the second thing is I fancy another truck because times are pretty good. I've got 5 good men and only 4 trucks. We hired a couple of guys, and you hire people, and sometimes you hire 2 or 3 and expect somebody's going to quit. But I've been in my bed for a few weeks with this disease. But these guys are all working out, and they're all good, solid, hard working runners. And for some reason, I've never had an issue with hiring drivers. When I had the buses in Scotland, the coaches, I was able to keep decent men in them, and so the same thing is happening with the trucks. Just treat them good, and they seem to respond to that. So I've got 5 really good men, not including me. I'm the weakest link at the moment, but I've got 5 really good men and 4 trucks, and we've been juggling it between us, and Paul and Darren were teaming up on one, and but that can only go for so long, and you can make more money on your own, especially when there's no logs, so I've got a notion to buy a truck. So I've got right now, I've got the 379 Pete, which gets poor fuel mileage, but it's a kind of classic truck and it doesn't depreciate. The same with the W900, terrible fuel mileage but doesn't depreciate, so there's a push there. And the guys that are driving them like them. I've got my 579, which has just had that $30,000 engine rebuild on it, which gets not as good a fuel mileage as I'd hoped. It's decent enough, I'll get 5.5 to 6 because we're running hard. The Volvo, it's shot down to 72 miles an hour, and I think it's close to 6.5 to 7. So I've got those. I've got the 2 older trucks that are kind of mainly for just loading trailers in for the oil field. But I have a notion, only because I've had 3 pack cars, and the first one, the motor got blown up. The TA video, if you get a chance to look at that, but that wasn't the truck's fault. but they just don't seem to be what I was hoping they would be with that daft engine in them. And the grey one we had, the silver one, if I could have found a stick of dynamite, I'd have let that truck have it. So I never liked that one. And our green one, it's an engine rebuild, so I don't know that they're as hot stuff as PACCAR would like you to believe they are. This is personal preference, all right? So anything that's got a Peterbilt badge or a Kenworth badge on it usually costs a little bit more. If you want a Freightliner, the older Cascadias, Cassius King's got one on there and he loves it to bits and has got the automatic transmission on it that gets super duper fuel economy. And I can never seem to run across one of those that I would have. I'm not really a big Freightliner fan. I've had a couple of them over the years and they've not really been inspiring for me. They certainly work for a lot of people and for the big fleets. The DD15 engine seems to be the thing to have if you want a Freightliner. The other option that we're slowly getting down the list here, I want to try, because most of the guys that work for me, they want 13-speed transmissions in them. When you've been driving 10s, a lot of guys will think, oh, I don't want 13, I don't know how to do that. Wes was that way. I remember I put him into that yellow 18-speed truck that we had, yellow one that we have, and he was freaked by it, to be honest with you. Oh, I don't want to do that, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to go to Florida, I don't want to do it, you know. And you go, look, I believe in your ability and I'm sure you'll be able to figure this out. So after a couple of days, you just about had to get a crowbar to get him out of that and put him into a 10-speed. And if I said to him now, he drove Brett's truck there, that automatic, and just didn't like it. Like the 13-speed, like the control it gives you, that half gear, especially for us being out in the west here, when you're running over the hills, that half gear is great, especially when the snow comes. You know, you can hold the gears, and we like them. So there's not as many 13 speeds out there now as there used to be, because a lot of the fleets are going for automatics. So I've come across a truck. Let me know your thoughts, and please don't be too stern in your attitudes towards this truck. So to me, there's certain things you want. The PACCAR never measured up. If you're going to have something that's got a 13 speed behind it, what are your options? Most Kenworths these days, they're all fleet trucks, the 680s and stuff. They're 10 speeds and automatics. So I have got a chance of a truck which is an international, okay? Now, when I was up in North Dakota, I ran international, and that was back when it was the Wild West up there. We were running 165 barrels of salt water in our trailers, because if you filled the trailer up all the way to the top, when you were going up a hill, the water was a solid thing, so there was a lot of weight pushing down on the drive line, the driving wheels. But if it was going up a hill and it was half full, all the water would run to the back and the weight would come off the drive wheels, and then you would spin out. So for safety, I used to just run to the max. Absolutely nothing to do with the fact that we were getting paid by the barrel, but we made some super good money up there. I was just driving for somebody at the time, but I drove an international. It was a 9900, the hood one, and we run that North Dakota. Anybody that's been up there, we were up head north to the Pilot, a little bit further north, then head out west. Some nights you'd be out there and you wouldn't see another truck, but it was mainly dirt roads, gravel roads, and they would get the ripples in them, you know, that when you're going hard. And hands up here, when you're getting paid by the barrel and by the load, we're flat out, you know. And so that truck took a lot of punishment. I mean, it was a very strong truck as far as the truck goes. International, I've got the little white one, and it's a good enough old truck for what it is. But that one that I'm looking at, it's no brand new. It's got the aerodynamic shape on it. It's a Pro Star, but it does have a 13-speed transmission with a Cummins in front of it. So it's an ISX. It's a 2014, and I know there were some years that the ISX wasn't as good as it could have been or should have been. So if anybody's got any information on that would be great to get that. So I'm thinking about that as a fifth over-the-road truck, and that will just do me till the springtime next year. Wasn't going to do any more, but got a trailer sitting there. The one that Clay was pulling, he's no longer with us anymore, so I need to do something with that trailer. So I thought of whacking a truck on it. I've got 5 men, 5 trailers. It's a no-brainer really, and the rates are good. So I was thinking of doing that. It's nice inside, aerodynamic on the outside, great for putting in front of a reefer, but it's got the Cummins in it, which I far prefer than any other thing that they're going to put into an International. And it's got a 13-speed transmission on it. It's got 550,000 miles on it, which is not a lot for a Cummins. So it's not a bad option for me. So thoughts on a postcard, please. There's a lot of people that watch this that'll get a lot to say and a lot of good insight into these things. So next thing is the oil field. What do you think of that? Time to blow my brains out again. So I've got an app in my phone for the oil price. I watch it every day. I watch it multiple times a day, and it's been hovering around 40 bucks. It's stabilized at 40. I know there's an election coming up. I know that it'll depend who gets in as to how things go in the long term. So the rig count, just anybody that doesn't know, there's 2 things that happen. The main things for us truck drivers is that in Texas, or the oil field anywhere really, they come along and they put a rig, a big tall thing, massive thing, and they drill a hole all the way down for about 12,000 feet, and then they make with GPS, satellite GPS, they make the rig, the hole bend and go horizontal, and that's them drilling the hole, and then they take all that stuff away, and then they bring the fracking equipment on and they frack the hole, as in they put the little thing down it, explode it, pressurize it, explode it, pressurize it, plug it and all that stuff. So the way that they decide how good the oil field is doing is by what the rig count is. Now the rig count was above 300 last year, and then it dropped to 252, I think, 251 in May when everything hit the pan. So I watched that as well. I need to get better hobbies. I watched the rig count. The rig count has gradually climbed up now to 269. But they've always got lots of holes drilled way ahead of the fracking crews, alright? And because they stopped fracking and doing everything, there's a lot of holes that haven't been fracked. And since May, when things were at the worst, the amount of crews that are fracking in the oil field right now have doubled since May. Alright? Don't know what the rates are like. I need to call people down in Texas tomorrow and speak to them. But there's a lot to be said for Texas in the winter time. You know, yeah, you can get the rain sometimes and you can get a wee bit of wind and a breeze, but there's a lot of good days as well. So it's a thought to take. I've got these 2 older trucks here. You know, if I can get those 5 guys into the pulling reefer for me towards the end of the year, and then maybe take myself and another guy down to Texas and run the sand for a little while. There's just something about that oil field in Texas that sucks you in, you know. I quite like it down there. So if the rates are decent and the work's there, it might be a decent place to go and, you know, take a couple, 3 old trucks down there and maybe do that. You know, I can still, you're not driving constantly with that, so I can still do my dispatch and I can still do my paperwork. I can still keep on top of things, and you know, cards on the table. I'm a little bit worried about taking a load. Yesterday I felt great, not great, but I felt a lot better. I managed to do things, and then today, because I never got a good sleep last night, I was beat. I'm getting jelly legs and a jelly belly, like that kind of, you know, if adrenaline goes into you or something like that, you get the shakes and your belly goes jingly and you get tired, so to lie down. So I'm a little bit nervous about taking a load and running to Florida with a load of spuds. So, but we'll see. It might be feel better tomorrow. But that's my thoughts. Oil field, maybe. Watch this space. I did say at the start of the year, 2020 will be a good year in the oil field. That was my crystal ball out the window. So there's that, there's the truck issue, and then there's a log issue. So that's my 3 sort of subjects for tonight. But yeah, I'd give them some consideration. I'd like to get this other truck, put it on the road, and then just go on a plane and go see my wife so that she remembers what I look like. Sorry I'm not back, missus. Love you to bits, and I need to get across there and take you out for your dinner, and you might need to wait till I get up and down the stairs, but it'd be good to spend some time and miss the family over there as well. And I see my side of it here, but I've got a lot of family at home and I miss them, and looking forward to spend some time with the wife and doing some things there, and going out for some dates, and still get my anniversary to celebrate in August, at the end of August there. I've missed it, so need to go back and have an anniversary. A little bit late, but better late than never, as they say. So if you haven't subscribed, it'd be great if you did that, and we'll speak to you later. Okay, thanks for watching.